What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It has been a while since I have made a video, but I decided that with the NFL season coming back around, I should make my return by making my NFL 2023 to 2024 season predictions. I'm going to be going over the AFC in this video, and then I will be doing the NFC in the next. Then I will get to playoffs. But as for my predictions, it has been a while, and I think it is rightfully a good choice to make my return, coming back with my AFC NFL season predictions. And let's not waste any time. I'm back, and let's get straight into this video. Starting it off with the 1 seed, I am going with the Buffalo Bills. It's an extremely deep team again, and it's just a team that I think consistently for the next many years will be very good. They have a quarterback, they have a defense, and that's all you really need in this day and age of football. A very mobile quarterback with an incredible arm in Josh Allen. They have a pretty easy schedule, and I think 12-5 is fair. The Chiefs and the Bengals, I think, are in the same boat. I think the Bills are the best team in the AFC, like regular season wise. I think when playoffs come around, it's a different time of the season. But for the regular season, I think the Chiefs and the Bengals are in the same boat. The Chiefs and the Bengals both going 11-6. I think both of them kind of kept their same team around this offseason. They didn't make too many changes. But again, the Bills, Chiefs, and Bengals all have a quarterback, and that is the reason why they are the three best teams. The Jags here at 10-7, they're finally making a comeback from the last couple years where they have been pretty lousy. But with Trevor Lawrence coming up, he's been a great quarterback, and they brought in weapons around him, and they're protecting him with an offensive line. I don't think their schedule is too bad. I think they have a lot of winnable games at home, and I think they should get it done winning the division in a very bad AFC South this season. In the 5 seed, I'm going with the New York Jets. It's a surprise, man. You don't see the Jets in the playoffs a lot, but the Jets have Aaron Rodgers, a very much improved coaching staff, and Aaron Rodgers is one of the best quarterbacks in the game, and you bring in a veteran quarterback that has an incredible arm and great leadership and poise. He's going to do a lot of good things for an organization. Their defense has been solid for the past 3 years or so. And then they still they need a few more, but they're getting weapons for him. And I think the Jets will be a very good team this season and a possible threat in the playoffs. The Broncos are another interesting team that you wouldn't expect in the playoffs. And the Broncos, they were very lousy last year. But you see them bringing in Sean Payton at the head coaching position. And Russell Wilson, talent-wise, we know Russell Wilson has talent. He just didn't display it last season. And I think if you bring in a veteran head coach who's been around similar to Russell Wilson, it's going to bring back his talent. I believe Russell Wilson will have a bounce back year. He won't be like his prime Seahawks self, but I think he'll have a good enough year to bring this solid Broncos team to the playoffs again. A good defense. They have weapons. Javonte Williams is a great player, Jerry Jeudy. So I think the Broncos will have a solid season this year. And then the last playoff team, I'm going with the Baltimore Ravens. This was a very tough decision with the Ravens and the Steelers and the Browns and the Dolphins, and it took a lot of time. But if you look at the Ravens, the Steelers, the Browns, and the Dolphins, the Ravens have the best quarterback. And I think that's a difference maker. The Ravens have Lamar Jackson, and Lamar Jackson is a playmaker. And you can say all you want about his arm. He has legs, and he has a good enough arm to get the job done. They brought in Odell off of injury. That will be huge. Mark Andrews is great. They're hoping for a bounce-back year from J.K. Dobbins. They have a solid defense. John Harbaugh is a great head coach. So they have the talent. And I don't think their schedule is too bad. It's a matter, can they beat out the great head coaches of Mike Tomlin and Kevin Stefanski and Mike McDaniel. But we'll have to see. I think I could see the Broncos missing the playoffs. But Don't forget about these three teams: the Steelers, the Browns, and the Dolphins, and the Chargers, I guess. But the Steelers, another great team. I think the issue with the Steelers, they have Mike Tomlin, of course. Mike Tomlin is an incredible head coach. He's been in the business for a long time, and he always seems to have a winning team. But I think the issue is we just don't know with Kenny Pickett and their receiving core. I'm a bit worried about, and they're just weapons on offense. Overall, I worry about. Like I don't I have faith in the defense. It's just Kenny Pickett and the weapons concern me. For the Browns, again, the Browns are a really talented team. There's no doubt about that. Deshaun Watson, Nick Chubb, Amari Cooper, a good defense, and I think the Browns definitely could make the playoffs. It's just every single year the Browns seem to disappoint, and I think the roster may not be the deciding factor this year, especially in a much improved AFC. And I think the Browns, they could do it. They definitely could. But in a very competitive AFC North division, it's going to be tough to get three teams from a division in the playoffs. The Dolphins, similar in that boat, a really competitive division with the Bills, the Jets, and even the Patriots down there. The Patriots can give them a problem sometimes, but the Dolphins, a really competitive team with Tua Tagovailoa. They have Tyreek Hill out there. They have a solid defense. They just have a lot of good players around Tua and a good head coach. So I could see the Dolphins getting 10, maybe 11 wins this season and making a playoff push. The Chargers, similar to the Dolphins, they have a young quarterback, a young head coach. I could see some good things out of them, but I just think the AFC is too loaded. The Patriots down here at 12, there's not much. I think this is Mac Jones's last chance to do something. And I don't think this is a bad season out of the Patriots. You win 8 games in an extremely competitive division. And I think 8 wins is right about what they're going to get. I have a hard time believing they win 10 or 11 games, especially against all the teams ahead of them. But as a Patriots fan, I do hope for good things. Down here is kind of just like the worst teams of the AFC, not the competitive teams. The Titans, they brought in Hopkins. Of course, they have Derrick Henry. It's just the defense lets down a lot. I'm not really sure about the offensive line or the quarterback situation. The Colts are a rebuilding team. They brought in Anthony Richardson. Jonathan Taylor's uncertain for the future. They don't really have many other weapons other than that. And I just think the Colts, they have to rebuild. They have to find their quarterback. And then the Raiders, similar. The Raiders, they brought in Devontae Adams. They brought in a lot of talent. They brought in Josh McDaniels. But I just think that without Derek Carr, bringing in Jimmy G, they'll be solid with 6 wins with Jimmy G, but I don't expect more than that. I don't love Josh McDaniels as a head coach. I just think it's a rebuilding year for the Las Vegas Raiders. And then the last seed is the Houston Texans. 5 wins, I think, is solid for them. They got the number 1 overall pick, Bryce Young, out of the draft, and I think it's just not Bryce Young. They got the number 2 overall pick, CJ Stroud. They were expecting to get Bryce Young. My brain just glitched a little right there. But they got the number 2 overall, the number 3 overall around there. They were in the number 3, the number 2, and the number 1 overall pick. Rumors for a while, but then they got CJ Stroud with that pick. And I think CJ Stroud will do good things with the Houston Texans. But I just don't think it's the year. They're still rebuilding. They have a young head coach. And I think in a competitive schedule, even with a bad division, 5 wins is still solid. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. These are my AFC predictions. Tell me what you think. They're not perfect, of course. I'm going to get something wrong. I'm going to get at least one thing wrong. And at least one thing completely wrong. But I hope it's just the best I can do. And if you disagree, it's your opinion. I just think this is what my most accurate prediction could be. But thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for getting through this with me and supporting me throughout this video. But hopefully I can get the NFC predictions out in the next few days or tomorrow even, maybe. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, and peace out.